Good evening. On behalf of Georgian people, it is my honor to welcome Vice President Pence and distinguished members of American delegation to Georgia. The timing of your official visit is auspicious, as this year marks the 25th anniversary of diplomatic relations between our two nations. In this short period of time, Georgia transformed itself from a country ravaged by civil war into a modern European democracy. The friendship and support of the United States have been crucial to our success. America has been Georgia's premier strategic ally. We owe enormous gratitude to the America which has been essential to this journey. Despite external challenges, military or cyber threats, Georgia's commitment to peace and at home and in the region endures. The US has a dedicated friend in Georgia, a stable geopolitical ally and a strategic partner, a partner with common values and shared global security priorities. Our strategic goal is to retake our rightful place in the family of European nations. In recent years, we've made great strides in integrating with Euro-Atlantic institutions, whether it be through the association and deep and comprehensive free trade agreement with the EU or closer integration with NATO. Vice President Pence, I am delighted that you will be addressing our brave soldiers participating in the Noble Partner exercises. The special bonds and extraordinary sacrifices of our two militaries currently fighting extremism together is something to behold. On a daily basis, I am inspired by their courage and dedication to keeping our countries safe and secure. We are truly brothers in arms. As the US has always stood with us, we stand with you in your efforts to ensure a more peaceful world. On a personal level, I seek to draw upon my experience as a graduate student in the American heartland in order to be a bridge between our nations. In the 90s, when enrolling in the top American schools of higher education seemed nearly impossible, I was given the opportunity to pursue graduate studies in finance at the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana. As a master's graduate fellow under Muskie Fellowship Program. This was part of a program funded by the US State Department. This experience was truly life-changing. Beyond learning finance, my time in Illinois profoundly shaped my understanding of America and its values. I remember most fondly the generosity and friendliness of the people from the heartland of America. They accepted me from day one and made me feel a part of a larger family, an American family. I could not know then that the wonderful spirit of American optimism would come to my assistance years later in the service of my own country. But it does, and it does every day. It reminds me repeatedly that there is nothing we cannot overcome. It reminds me that what we believe is important, and it reminds me that friends matter and dear friends matter most. Mr. Vice President, Georgia was very closely watching your visit to Estonia, where you said, on behalf of the President of the United States, America first does not mean America alone. Dear friends and allies, we are with you. We Georgians do very much appreciate this really inspiring statement. Friends, Vice President Pence, We Georgians cherish friendship between our two nations, Americans and Georgians, and the enduring values that bind us together. Now the floor is yours. Thank you.
Prime Minister Kvirikashvili, it is wonderful to see you again. It is a particular pleasure to meet your wife, Maya, and to be able to trade stories about our children. It was my great privilege, as well as the President's, to welcome you to the White House. And I thank you for your warm hospitality, making me and my wife, Karen, so welcome in your beautiful country. I bring greetings from the President of the United States, who sent me here with a very simple message to you, to your government, and to the good and courageous people of Georgia. We are with you. We stand with you for your freedom and for our shared values. I'm particularly grateful for the meetings that we will have tomorrow, the opportunity to meet with your armed forces and with American armed forces that are working together in joint operations. But tonight is about fellowship and friendship, and the sumptuous Georgian table that is set before us is enticing and inviting, as I was told it would be, and I am grateful for your warm hospitality. My wife and I are grateful to have the opportunity to experience Georgia's legendary cuisine and wonderful, warm hospitality. The food, the singing, the dancing that we will see at this dinner embodies everything that is great about your country, and we appreciate you sharing it with us tonight. The people of Georgia throughout the millennia have proved themselves to be courageous, independent, people willing to fight for what they believe in and to see their way through it. And in that, you share that spirit that you experience firsthand in the heartland. It is a spirit of independence that Americans share with Georgians. As Karen and I made our way through the city, I was deeply moved to see the number of your citizens that made a point to raise into the air the American flag and the Georgian flag. And we were touched deeply by that. But having had an opportunity to come to know you, to come to know the people of Georgia through you, I have every confidence that the bonds of character, the commitment to independence and freedom will only grow stronger under your leadership and the leadership of President Donald Trump. And so with that, I thank you for the warm welcome. I'm humbled to have the opportunity to represent the United States of America in this trip to your historic and ancient land. I look forward to our discussions and interactions tomorrow. But perhaps everyone would join me in simply raising a glass. I raise a glass to you, Mr. Prime Minister, and to your family for your devotion to this great nation. And on behalf of the United States of America, I raise a glass to a free, whole, and prosperous Georgia. And I raise my glass to a boundless future for freedom that we will enjoy together.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. A couple of words. Georgian polyphonic folk song Chakarulo was included 40 years ago by NASA program to the space carrier Voyager in the Global Records list Masterpieces of World Cultural Heritage. And when the head of the team, whose name was Carl Sagan, made this decision, he received a call from Moscow saying that Georgia is not an independent country and Georgian folk song cannot be therefore included in the golden records. Despite the pressure, Carl Sagan made a decision to include it in the golden list of records. Now the space shuttle, which is a reflection of Georgian-American friendship, left the solar system and is traveling to the infinity. And to give a touch of infinity, or if you like, eternity, to American-Georgian friendship, we now invite singers to perform the Georgian song Chak Rolo. Thank you very much.